What's up everyone, it's your boy Connor. Welcome back to Slinging Sips on American Coffee Trip. Today, I'm bringing you a coffee from Flight Coffee Company. It is a single origin Ethiopia. Tasting notes of jasmine, apricot, and toasted coconut. It is a natural process coffee out of the Guji region, grown at an altitude of 1900 to 2200 meters. And it is an heirloom varietal. Grade 3 Sodu, Ethiopia. I love the texture of the bags that Flight Coffee Company has. Nice and coarse. You got these stars on here. It's got a space theme in there. And I still have to visit their new coffee shop out of Goffstown, New Hampshire at some point. I'm gonna start this water up here. Nice little pull tab on the back. Open this up. Wow. There's a very nutty, coconutty smell to it. Water's almost ready. Out the coffee now. Grams. One thing I'd like to mention is when I'm tapping my coffee flat, I don't want it to be completely flat. I want there to be just a little bit of a rise in the middle. And it caters to my free pouring style. I don't like to stir my coffee. I don't like to swirl my coffee. I don't like to cause agitation that's not from the way that I poured the coffee in the first place. If I'm using a percolation method such as this. And with AeroPress it's a little bit different because it starts out as immersion and I flip it over and percolate it. Although I am thinking about getting a specific component of the AeroPress that might change the calculus a little bit. Might be further down the line in the future. Okay. Start here. Going up to 50 grams. Beautiful bloom. It's like watching bread rise. It just expanded perfectly even. And bubbled a little bit. That's some fresh coffee right there. I'm still waking up right now. Oh, just burn myself a little bit. Okay, 300 grams. A little bit of a longer extraction time. Three minutes. I'm only getting coconut right now. What other tasting notes does it say it had? Jasmine and apricot. When it's really hot, you don't get everything right away, right? It kind of tastes like taking a flame, your open coconut, flesh is completely, all the liquid is out. Take that flame, you just brush it against the side of the coconut, shave that piece off, eat it. If that were a coffee, this would be it right now. That's weird, especially from Ethiopia as well. It's just a different Ethiopia. I've been having so many Yurdish Ethiopia coffee lately that this is just throwing me for a loop of what I'm usually to expect from a coffee from Ethiopia, which I encourage because there's so many regions of Ethiopia. Have you ever looked into Ethiopia? Such a mountainous country. Such a mountainous country. It is freaking wild how diverse that nation is. All the different ethnic groups. You know, right in the middle you have Addis Ababa, which acts as its own city-state practically, and then tons of different ethnic groups that have organized into different factions that don't quite enjoy each other's presence, to put it lightly. And then of course surrounding nations that back certain groups or back certain regimes, if you will. It's a very complicated situation over there. But they do have fantastic coffee, and they do have mountains that I would love to climb at some point, and food that I freaking love to indulge in. The coffee itself. coffee has not been what I've expected it to be. Reviewing these 2 bags the past couple of days, it is not generally what I would go for as far as a taste profile that I'm seeking in a coffee. In my humble opinion, I wouldn't consider it like an S tier coffee, but it is good at what it does. It is good at what it does. And that's what's really important to me, and that's really what gives a coffee, a latte, anything a point score. It's not really about the taste profile. It's about how dedicated the people were putting it together, the ingredients, their focus on maintaining cleanliness, high quality. Even if it's a coffee from a region I haven't tried, or maybe it's something that it's a taste profile that's completely against what I'd usually go for as far as a coffee that's fantastic. As long as that is well done, milk is good ingredients, good creaminess, proper steaming techniques, proper integration, all those things. That's what really counts into the score. Right up until 8.5. And then, I gotta tell you, it becomes really difficult. I start to come up with things about, thinking about like the depth of the flavor. How far does it go? How much am I exploring? How much am I discovering? During the time at which the coffee was brewed, the latte was brewed, the concoction was put together, masterfully crafted. During the time at which it's at its highest temperature, which should be kind of like a lukewarm, it just feels like a warm hug every time you take a sip. It's comfortable, easy, to when it's cold. There should be discovery throughout that time period as the temperature drops and drops and drops, because that's what coffee does when exposed to room temperature. Temperature just drops. A hot cup of coffee or an espresso drink. And with a latte in particular, the threshold is lower, right? Because you have the milk cooling it down. Even when you steam up that milk, you get that at the right temperature range. It is not a hot drink. As soon as you grab that cup, it is ready to drink. That's very important. Coffee, a little bit different. You brew it according to the brewing method, according to your preferences, and how quickly do you want to extract more coffee. And you grind it to how long, or to basically, with an immersion brewer, how long and how much agitation will it take for it to extract the full flavor out of that coffee. And then if you go really fine, it doesn't take much, but it's different with all of them. Some brewing methods feel like almost like counterpoints to the knowledge that I've kind of gotten in the past years of coffee brewing, but it becomes intuitive to that brewing method. So there's definitely principles, but there are so many ways to brew and make coffee. It is impossible for me in my entire lifetime to understand that on a full spectrum, which is really great. It means there's always something to explore. Those other tasting notes are a lot more apparent now that the coffee has cooled down. Apricot is absolutely there. It's there to stay. The toasted coconut started out as the predominant tasting note, the one that overwhelmed my senses, and now it is the first tasting note that hits my mouth, but it is the least powerful tasting note. There's a little bit of toasted coconut, and it evolves into jasmine. There's this nice floral sense to it, and then it's overwhelming apricot as it sizzles out, and the taste leaves your mouth. So this is a really good coffee. It's nice and complex. They put time, energy, effort into the coffee. And Flight Coffee I think, does dance between this line of they have a bunch of sandwich products, they have a bunch of other kind of flavor products, but they keep the quality of their coffee. And they maintain that at their core, which is good because if a connoisseur comes in or a nerd, they're going to have something that's going to satisfy them, and then someone who just wants a cold drink during the summer day, which is great. You need to do both now, fortunately or unfortunately. As an American, we are accustomed to sugary, sweet drinks, and so appreciation of a fine wine or appreciation of a fine coffee isn't something that has as much of an encapsulated base as something that Starbucks can sell. It's just simply how it is. Now, hoping that with what American Coffee Trip's going to do throughout the years and years and years that I work on this project, don't get me wrong, it doesn't amount to much right now. Maybe it won't ever amount to much. Either way, I'm going to enjoy the journey. I'm going to discover more about coffee. I'm going to connect and find more good specialty coffee shops in more cities, more regions, states, countries, and eventually the world. That I can promise you. So with that being said, guys, go down to Flight Coffee Company in Bedford, New Hampshire. Check out their Goffstown location. Tell me if I should review it. I'm going to do it anyways at some point. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.